everybody, and welcome to the Oros vlog of this week. Here we delve into the deeper mysteries of the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and we give you a little bit of a play-by-play of the game and like a discussion.
Yeah, man. I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
Yep. Today I forgot my iPad, so we're gonna continue on our playthrough with my trusty, dusty iPhone.
It's not that dusty.
It's dusty.
It's not dusty.
That's not. Okay, that's fine. But last time we were in Slateport City, we moved to the north of Route 110, which is really cool. It's got a park on it, and cycling road kind of like looms above the route. And when you walk onto the route, it's cool because you kind of look at it straight on, and you can kind of see it, and it looks cool. I don't know, I like it.
Yeah, it's great.
But we can't do anything on cycling road yet, because guess what we don't have? A bike.
Un bike.
Un bike.
Un bicyclette.
But eventually you run into Team Magma or Teen Aqua.
Teen Aqua.
Teen Aqua magazine. Team Aqua, who mentioned they're headed north through Mauville City to get to Mount Chimney.
Right.
So maybe we should do that. So, oops, no, not yet though, because guess what is on Route 110? It's a thing called the Trick House.
Oh, the Trick House, dude.
Yeah, so the Trick Master lives in the Trick House. He loves to make tricks and riddles for people. There's like 6 mazes. You like beat one maze, you leave, you come back in, and there's another one. It's really fun.
Usually they have to do with the HMs that you've accrued.
Yeah. And it's fun, and the music is cool in there. And you get things. You get like Taunt, you get a Hardstone in there, you get Trick Room in there, you get the Smoke Ball in there, the Magnet, and then finally you get the decoration for your house that you want. Like the red one or the blue one, depending on what game it is. And that's fun. We'll talk more about him later.
You've got pretty eyes. They just look very nice right now.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. You know, I think that you can't beat like the third one, like when you come by it the first time, because you need Rock Smash. And actually the battles get like a little bit beyond like where you probably are at that point, unless you're like grinding. So you probably are gonna have to come back to do that. You probably can't do that in one zone. But also, if you head west from the Trick House, you can get to the other side of Route 103.
Right.
But there's really not anything there.
Yeah,
it's like some trainers. There's like I think there's like some berries. There's a guard spec is there.
Okay.
But you'd really like it doesn't matter till you get surf really Route 103. So don't worry about it too much. Keep going along Route 110. May Brendan, your rival, challenges you, and you beat her, and him in your case, and you get the dowsing machine.
Yes.
Which like lets you find hidden items in the ground. I know that it kind of feels like a downgrade from the one in Gen 5 a little bit, because it's like hard to understand.
But it's so funny.
It's like cute, like the little things.
Yeah, little
like
alien antenna. It's so cute.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
And there's like cool stuff to find everywhere. It feels a little bit more like your character is doing something than you are, which I kind of like. But I definitely agree that it's like a downgrade from the Gen 5 one.
Yeah.
Which was like literally like go here, go here, go here, go here. Okay, here it is. You're here. But I always get confused with the one in Gen 6. Do you ever get like, are you ever like, where is this? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, kinda.
It like basically how it works is it like the little balls on your head like change color the closer you get, and like they move in a weird way, and they kind of
like. And then when like you find it, you're right in front of it, they're like, wow, wow, wow. It is funny though. Oh man, I do want like a.
I just feel like a lot of the time, I feel like in Gen 5 I didn't feel that way, and in this one I'm like, I don't know where I'm going.
There's got to be a headband of that out there somewhere, eBay, somewhere. I want to get
the dowsing machine.
Yeah.
Shout us out if you know where we can get a dowsing machine. But it's cool. You get hidden items, and on this route there's like a lot of them because you want to try it out. But bam, bang, zoom. Up next you go to Mauville City, which got like a really huge overall for us.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I know some people are kind of bummed about it. It was more like an outdoor kind of town in a regular Ruby and Sapphire, but this one it's kind of like been rebuilt into
it's like an indoor mall.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It really just feels like a mall. Like there's all kinds of stuff to do in there.
It's really neat. It really is. The design of it's pretty cool.
There's the bike shop. You can get the free bike. You can choose between the Mach or the Acro bike.
You can switch between them at will.
Yeah, like if you come back, you're like, give me the other one, which is annoying. But I think later you can like combine it or something if you do some specific things. I can't remember if that's true. In the Battle Institute, you get the Versus Recorder, which records your battles, which you can rewatch. But also, I don't know if this is new to Gen 6 or if it's new to Oros, but you can like stop the battle and like change what you did to like test out a strat.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
pretty awesome.
I didn't even realize that, and then I was like reading about it in the guide, and I was like, I don't remember that at all. So I went and tried it, and yeah, you can like be like, well, what if I did Blizzard instead of Thunderbolt here or something?
That's very interesting.
Wow. Yeah. The inverse battles are there. There's a bunch of TMs everywhere, decorations.
Just like everything, daycare area, like, yeah.
You run into Wally there, who's with his uncle again, and he's doing like way better, and he's like feeling good. He's like, I wanna go fight the gym leader. Like, I'm ready to do this. Then he goes, and he's like gone for a little bit. In the Pokemon Center, you run into this like yellow dude. I don't know how else to describe him. He's like, he wears yellow, and his hair is yellow, and his name is Giddy, and he gives you some O-powers, and it's really weird. But also, I will talk more about that later.
But definitely talk to him.
Yeah, definitely talk to him.
It's an interesting. We'll go over it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You can do it at any time, so if you missed it, don't worry about it. But like, it's weird, man. You go to.
And O-powers are really useful too.
Yeah, you need them. Like if you're gonna start breeding and stuff in the game, but like, it's weird. It's weird. You can go to the food court, which is a kind of weird thing, kind of like the Cafe Luau or Restaurant Luau in the other game, where depending on what you order, there's like a certain number of turns that you have to wait for it, and then you got to battle a trainer for a seat. So like, if you finish the battle with the right number of turns, you get a prize. And so like right now you can only get the submarine sandwich, which gets you a nugget if you do it right. But later you unlock the croquette stand and the ramen stand. And I don't remember what the middle one is, but I know the ramen gives you a big nugget because I've done that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get some money.
Yeah, there's a bazillion shops. There's a bunch of move tutors that teach like all the like, not the like new to Oros moves, but like the like for the starters. There's the thing, or like for like, you know, like
the pledge moves and the
like for Keldeo, for example, like he can learn Sacred Sword there or Secret Sword. I can't remember which. Maybe both. Maybe. But it's just like specific moves that specific Pokemon can learn, that only they can learn. That's in Mauville City. There's battles, inverse battles. Did I already say that? Maybe I did. But then you end up going to the gym. Wally's in front of the gym, and his uncle's like, "Yo, will you fight Wally before he goes into the gym just to make sure he's strong enough?" He just has his Ralts, level 17. You crush him. And your uncle's like, or his uncle's like, hey, that's pretty good. Have a rock smash. I don't know, hold it. And you take it, and it's pretty useless. It'll help you in the gym a little bit because it's a fighting type move, and you're gonna run into some steel types in the gym. But
spoilers.
Well, we're gonna get to it today. But other than that, you really kind of need the badge to get it. So whatever. And the third gym is Watson, who's like the electric Jerry Garcia.
And he's actually the guy that made this Mauville City.
Yeah, he's like
his brainchild.
Yeah, he's like a titan of industry. But he looks like Jerry Garcia. He wears like a jumpsuit with like a Hawaiian shirt over it.
Right.
He's chill. I like him.
Oh, another fun fact is that Mauville is the sister city to Lumiose City. There's like a spire in the middle.
Oh yeah,
of
there's
the
like
courtyard.
a gift from them or something.
Yeah, it's like a little mini Lumiose tower, and it's like this is a gift because we're sister cities and we're friends. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of a neat little nod.
Yeah. So Watson's gym looks like a power plant. It's got like this puzzle with like electric gates, and you have to like hit switches. It's like classic. Gym stuff. You challenge Watson. Watson has a Magnemite, a Magneton, and a Voltorb, and it's really annoying because the Voltorb, I think maybe all of them have Volt Switch. All of them can paralyze you, and all of them can confuse you. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I spent a lot of time in this gym battle. I might have even lost once. I can't remember, but I was paralyzed and confused at the same time, and it was really, really annoying.
It's a rough strat.
But you beat him eventually, and you get Volt Switch as a TM, which is a great thing. It's like one of those switch moves, and Pokemon up to level 40 obey you, and you can use Rock Smash outside of battle. Yay! Yeah! So that happens. You head north out of the town, because really, where else are you going to go? You run into Team Magua magazine outside, and they are like, Mount Chimney. Let's go. And so you're like, oh, all right, maybe I should go to Mount Chimney.
Since they've mentioned it so many times.
But that's where we're going to stop for today. This is a fun, active leg of the journey. I really liked it.
Yeah.
And we'll be back after the break where we look at this week's mystery. Mystery. Hey! Welcome back to the mystery portion of this week's mystery vlog. This week's mystery is the Trickmaster like the Riddler? And what I mean is, does he have the same sort of like weird, like, personality disorders that somebody like the Riddler has? Like, is he like mentally unhealthy? Like, is he okay? Because if you
he's a strange guy. I mean, like, the second you walk into his house, it's like somebody's watching you.
He's hiding. He's like hiding. He's in like he's like under his table, and he's like, "How did you find me? You must be a genius." But the two things that both the Riddler and the Trickmaster look like they might have, number one is obsessive compulsive disorder, but like a severe form of obsessive compulsive disorder, which on paper is a preoccupation with, this is straight out of Wikipedia, preoccupation with orderliness, perfectionism, excessive attention to details, mental and interpersonal control, and a need for power over one's environment at the expense of flexibility, openness, and efficiency. So that's obsessive compulsive disorder. So if you think about the fact that he has these little intricate mazes and he gets frustrated when you solve them, and he
puts so much detail into them and so much work.
Yeah, like the things that he does in that house are literally insane. So that's obsessive compulsive disorder, and then the other one that he might have is dependent personality disorder, which is characterized by a pervasive psychological dependence on other people. It's a long-term chronic condition in which people depend on others to meet their emotional and physical needs, with only a minority achieving normal levels of independence. Plus, they both make like weird puzzles.
Way to wrap that up with a really nice, solid bow. That's very interesting because he relies on you so much to like do his puzzles, and it's like what he lives for. And whenever you beat it, it's like, oh my gosh, you're almost as good as I am. I don't know, like. Another thing with the Riddler and with Trickmaster is that they're both like super into themselves.
Yeah, they're like super
confident.
confident.
Think like they're the best in the world. Like Trickmaster even makes robots that are like in service that look exactly like him.
Yeah.
And like compliment Trickmaster all the time. And then the passwords that you find scattered about are always like, Trickmaster is the best. Trickmaster is beautiful. Trickmaster is a genius. I love Trickmaster.
Yeah, Trickmaster is love.
Yeah, like, right? So what is
yeah,
his deal, really?
you end up beating the trick house, and it's like he just leaves.
He's like, I'm gonna go find more tricks.
He's like, my life is over. All my stuff is gone. You took it from me, but I need to like find more stuff to make you puzzle. So I don't know.
Weird thing.
Because if you think about it, like Riddler, right? Like he gets really, really mad if Batman doesn't play along with his games, or he solves the riddle in a way that's like not the actual solution. And so I just feel like Trickmaster, maybe he's like a weird like supervillain type guy. Like maybe
could be a supervillain?
Yeah, like maybe in another world, like he could be like a supervillain personality type. Like he doesn't like resort to terrorism or anything like that, like the Riddler does. But like, like it's weird. Like I think that the game intended it to be maybe more of like a lighthearted sort of thing, but like when you think about like who really would make like a house that they live in into like a weird like puzzle chamber where like,
and like he doesn't do anything but hide in his house all day and hope that somebody maybe walks into his house and looks for him.
Yeah, he puts a sign out front and hides in his house. It's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think that's really interesting, and I think that there's like, it feels almost like Saw or something.
You know what it reminds me of, and maybe it's not like totally related. Like,
a game.
You know, like when you were a kid, like in Halloween, like some guy would make his garage like a full-scale Halloween maze.
Yeah.
And it would be like really actually scary, but like you know that it must have taken like days to like design and like do it, and like.
Yes.
Like maybe it's just the thing that like there's something about humans that we like want to make a world that we're in control of.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. I once went to a house like this, and I mean, who goes trick-or-treating? Like, how old are you when you stop?
When you stop, you never stop.
Or we can stop the camera, that is. Apparently our camera overheated. What I was saying was, I one time went to one of these scary trick-or-treat houses, and It was like in someone's garage. They made like one of these like, lights going, sounds. He hired actors. I went in.
That's intense.
It was like a medical room. And the guy's leg was like down. He was like laying on the table and the guy's leg was down through a hole in the table. And there was a piece of meat sitting on top of it, and there was people like hacking into it and like, and I remember thinking like it was gory, it was disturbing, and I was thinking like, who is this for? Like who is getting the enjoyment out of this?
Probably the guy that's like doing it.
Yeah, and he lives his whole life for it. Like remember that Santa Claus thing from NPR about the family that's like way too into like keeping the illusion alive for their kids? Like they make up all their own like extra Santa lore.
Yeah.
And like they get people to like dress up as like all these other, it's like this other like separate like family only story of Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So who knows? I don't know. Do you think that the Trick Master is something's wrong with him?
I don't know. I definitely think he's an eccentric maniac. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
All right, well...
He's eccentric. He's probably this rich man because he can just take apart his house and do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah, more on him, though, later. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with a little Q&A session for you guys.
Yay.
Right after this.
Hey.
Hold tight. And we're back with more Q&A. Thank you for writing questions. We're going to do about 6 of them right now, including the very first question that was asked, so don't forget about that. So the first question comes from Alyssa Coleman, who says, "Hey there, Alex and Kellz. I have a question for you guys that has been bugging me for quite a while. I have a friend that whenever we get into a discussion about Pokemon, he will always voice how much he violently hates fairy types. He sees them as too OP, especially with their dragon type immunity, and as a failure in trying to balance the metagame. Honestly, I think fairy types are a good addition to Pokemon, allowing steel and poison types to have a more offensive role and giving people more options to take down dragon types if they need to. Well, I'm not sure about if they've succeeded in balancing out the metagame. I do not think that fairy type is OP, and his dragon type immunity does not make it so. I'm not sure how much other people do or do not like fairy type in the broader community, but what would be your response to this opinion? Is my friend in the right thinking that fairy types are too powerful and should not have been added? Is their dragon type immunity going too far? If not, how would you vouch for fairy type as a useful addition to the Pokemon universe?"
I don't think it's too far at all. I think fairy types are definitely not overpowered. If they were, I feel like everyone would use them only. I think that, to be honest, if there was a type that was overpowered, it was dragon type, and giving it a type that dragon type cannot hit is a great idea.
Yeah, and honestly, right now, as far as like including fairy type goes, I think that the metagame is still very young, and I think that, a misconception about games that involve competition is that it ever stops evolving and changing, which it doesn't. But a funny thing is that you didn't mention at all here is that there's one other thing about fairy type, which is that it is resisted by fire type. So it just sort of fit nicely into a whole that solved a lot of problems at once. Poison wasn't powerful enough, but by being the counter to Dragon, Fairy gets a large power boost right at the beginning, and so Poison gets value from being able to take that down. Same thing with Steel type, where we saw some Steel types, like in the metagame, like we'd see a lot of Heatran, and we'd see a lot of, what's his name, Fairthorn, among others. But like, before, like, they still had these huge weaknesses to, ground type and fire type. But now that Fairy exists, like, it just adds a little bit more worth to them, and it makes them a little bit more dangerous in general, and it adds a layer of like guessing and predicting and switching that the game didn't have before. Like, it's just one more thing that makes a huge portion of the game relevant again that really was sort of falling out of relevancy. So I think the two things that they could have done were eliminate some types, or like, mix some types together, or add one that kind of like fixes something. And right now, they're seeing how it works. There's not that many fairy type Pokemon.
And there's not a lot of fairy type like moves, to be honest with you.
Right. And so I think that next gen we're going to see some dual type fairy types, for example, and we're going to see the game evolve even more. And even before anything happens, I think we're going to see some new strategies evolve over the next few months. And heading into Worlds. So we'll see how it goes. And I don't think that it's in any way negatively affected the metagame at all.
I don't think so either. I would like to know what specifically, why Dragon type didn't deserve to have something that it cannot hit. Because I think I really was in the team of Dragon types being like
too big.
You gotta have a Dragon type because Dragon types can hit anything. But like now they can't hit everything, and I think that's really useful for Dragon type because like
checked.
before it was just like there's nothing that can stop them. And I don't know if it's more of like a Fairy type's 2 OP rather than like, oh, now Dragon type's not invincible.
Right.
And so I don't know. I think that it was a smart move, and I don't think that they would have put it in the game if they didn't like consider the options and consider how it would affect the game.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here's another one for you.
Oh, great. Here's another question. This question is from Andrea Mandadakis. I'm sorry if I really butchered that. I'm really sorry. But Andrea asks, question for you guys. Is Wallace the dog named after the 8th gym leader in Hoenn, or is there another reason for the naming? Very, very interesting because I get this a lot. No, he's not named after Wallace from Hoenn. Because I don't like Wallace from Hoenn.
I like Wallace from Hoenn, but I do like the Wallace that Wallace is named after better.
I don't like Champion Wallace. If anything, I would be more akin to call him after Wally, because I love Wally, but I don't really like Wallace from Hoenn. Wallace is actually named after Scott Pilgrim's roommate in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, whose name is Wallace. And that's that. If you know of Scott Pilgrim, then you know who he is. If you don't, then you should read Scott Pilgrim because it's really awesome.
Yeah, or at least watch the movie, equally awesome.
Oh yeah, the movie's great.
Yep.
Anyway,
Wallace,
that's where Wallace came from.
Next question is from Michael Rett, who asks, hey Alex and Kellz, what happened in that Missing No episode?
I don't...
Okay, so here's what happened in that Missing No episode. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Okay.
So,
right.
Alex and Kellz from season 1 of the Dex, before we hit 100,000, were a different couple of people from the Pokemon world.
Yes, from the actual world of Pokemon.
Yes, and by raising the awareness of Pokemon in this world, they were opening a portal from the Pokemon world to this one, and somebody from the Pokemon world wanted to come through and take over and make this world into the new Pokemon world. But then what happened was the real Alex and Kellz, who've been trying to, have been trying to take care of the YouTube side of things for them the whole time while this was going on. But then we realized what was happening and that they were being held against their will. And so us and our trusty friend Jimmy busted them out, brought them here to our office, and opened a portal so they could go back home. Right. And we closed all the portals leading to the Pokemon world, and they're happy there, and we were happy here. And the reason it was the Missing No episode is because we needed some way to glitch the program that they were using to make the Dex episodes for season 1. And so we used Missing No to glitch the program out. So yeah, that's the official story. Yeah. If you don't get it, sorry. Yeah. Also, it was another way to kind of like reset and like get rid of a couple things we didn't like about the show and like add a couple things we did like. Yeah. Yeah. There's clues. You could go back and look. They're there. It's just a fun way to like make a little story out of the show. Yeah. It beyond was the like facts that we usually present. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. There may be more of that. Yeah. Yeah. That's for you. Okay. The next question comes from Miku Hatsunis, and they write for Q&A. Hey guy, what Pokemon type? Probably hey guys. What Pokemon type would you pick if you were to make your own Pokemon gym? 1, 2, 3. Grass. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I like grass. I really like grass types too. I love Whimsicott, and I love, I think a grass type gym would be great. But I also love, if I can do a dual type gym, water ground. Grass or psychic, probably. I don't know. Probably grass, though. I love the water ground Pokemon. I like grass the most. Okay, next question is from Demi Wilson, who says, I have a question. Do you have a favorite DC superhero? Yes, Superman is my favorite DC superhero. Great. There's a small bubble. A little bubble came out of my mouth. Interesting. Yeah. DC superhero. Is it because you don't know which ones are DC? No, I know which ones are DC. You meanie. Okay. I mean, I guess it would just probably be Batman. It's fair. He's a great choice. He's great. He's a good man. Yeah. He's a good man, Charlie Brown. He knows a better man. Arkham City was so fun. He knows better man? Who? Superman. Yeah. He's a little bit of a... Whatever. People hate on Superman. He doesn't deserve it. Next,
I think he's a great man, but I don't want to be friends.
We cannot get into the Batman Superman argument right now. It's too.
It's relationship breaking.
No, it's just huge.
We'll have to stop the
Okay. This next one is for you.
Oh, it's for me.
Yeah.
This one is from Daniel Krant. Americans wearing shoes in the house seriously bothers me. It's like, why not take them off at the step or boot room? So much cleaning time wasted. Alex and Kellz, why do Americans / you wear shoes in the house? And is your home your office?
Okay. I don't wear shoes in my house. I take my shoes off as soon as I get into my house. We shoot, even though this couch looks very homey and comfortable, we're actually in a production office that we run with a completionist.
Behind you, directly through and behind is a door, and then just to the right of it is the green screen that we film the decks on.
Yeah, and right over there, that's the completionist set. Like I'm touching it. I'm touching the completionist set right now.
So this is an office, and the reason I wear shoes in this office is because I have found staples on the floor before.
Yeah,
so.
And I wear them because my feet are awful and horrible and sticky, like we've covered before.
I wear socks in my house all the time. But yeah, it is a real thing that some Americans do wear shoes.
I think it has to do with the social situation.
But I do think that it's a very cultural thing elsewhere to like take the shoes off. There's not really like. I mean, I've been to some of my friends' houses who have like a little shoe thing right by the door.
I wouldn't take my shoes off at a party at someone's house or a get together with
unless they were like, please take your shoes off.
Yeah, but if it was like a chill situation with like 3 or 4 people, my shoes are off.
Yeah.
And all my friends take their shoes off too. Hope that answers your question. Little cultural situation. But that's all the time we have for today.
All right.
Thank you for watching this far. We'll be back again next week with another mystery, and leave your questions down below for us to answer. We'll answer the first real good question that we see each time, and then a couple more random ones from throughout the thing. If you want to support us, you can go to lootcrate.com/TheNationalDex and use coupon code TheNationalDex to get 10% off your loot crate, and it kicks us a little something. It's really cool. I got a loot crate recently. It had like a cool like Space Invaders tie. It had a Voltron shirt in it. What else did it have? A limited edition cover of Star Wars #1, the new Marvel series.
He was really excited about that one.
It was tight. It's tight. Oh, it's tight. But yeah, the things are like the boxes are like I think about $15, and they go down the more you order at once. But you get 10% off your whole order if you use a coupon code, and it kicks us something, and you get cool stuff. Do it. Do it.
Great.
Until next time, I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Down.